Hey gang, welcome back for part 2 of my 2013 fantasy football rankings. I am Alex Wiesner and today we're going to talk running backs. First off, obviously go to the website MrFantasyFreak.com, scroll down, find the rankings. Click. Go down and see Arian Foster. Alright, start obviously with Foster, best running back right now in the league. I have him ranked number 1 entering next year. Adrian Peterson, Doug Martin, Ray Rice, Jamal Charles. I think Charles has proven himself to be healthy. Obviously the Chiefs are pretty bad, but he's still an elite running back. I think Ray Rice, still good. You still want him, but I do have some concerns. He's getting up there in age, and he's got a lot of miles on those legs. So got him at 4. I really like Doug Martin. Not quite sure if he can repeat the numbers that he put up this season, but at the same time, they're going to need him. And I think he's the real deal moving forward. A lot of people are going to make a case for him to get number 1 overall. I don't think so. I think Peterson or Foster, it has to be some kind of 1-2 between those two guys. 6, LaShawn McCoy. Concerns with the concussion. I still think he is an elite running back and he'll return. A lot of people will point to Bryce Brown's emergence as taking away from McCoy in the long run. I'll get to that in a bit. Rounding out the top 10, Marshawn Lynch, Matt Forte, Darren McFadden, and Maurice Jones-Drew. I've gotten a lot of talk about McFadden can never stay healthy. Never played more than 13 games in any season. But if you look specifically to 2010, he had almost 1,200 yards in 13 games. The chance of him playing a full 16-game season is limited, but for me, he's one of the guys that you draft and hope to get 12, 13, 14 games out of him, and you're going to get top 10 production when he plays. So it is a risky play next year, but I like McFadden to an extent. Another guy kind of in the same boat is Maurice Jones-Drew. I think he just wants a new setting, new scenery, contract. Once he gets that, he'll be happy and he'll play. Just move on from this year. He's still a top 10 keeper for me. Next up, 11, Trent Richardson. I have some concerns with him. If you look at his rushing totals from this season, he's had games of 39 yards, 27 yards, 47, 37, and 8. Kind of imbalanced there. He's been dealing with injuries all season. Still great production, but I'm playing it cautious with him. Teams are going to get film on him. They'll figure him out. I think 11 is good for right now. We'll have to see how things work out in the offseason and if there's a coaching change or if they bring in some new O-line. After Richardson, DeMarco Murray, Stephen Ridley, CJ Spiller, Chris Johnson. That's my top 15. Getting down to the low-end number 2s, I have guys like Reggie Bush, the Law Firm, Ryan Matthews, Alfred Morris, and Frank Gore. Now when I look at Morris, he's another one of those guys that when you look at his numbers and his production, you think he could be a top 10 running back next season. I'm playing it cautious with him as well. I think teams are going to start to figure out that rushing attack. Not to say that he's not a lock for 1,000 yards. We know Mike Shanahan and his track record, but I think Morris, a lot of his value this year has come from the surprise of him, and now teams are going to recognize him as an elite runner, and I think a lot of those teams in the NFC East especially can shut him down once they get the film and analyze him in depth. I think right now he's just kind of running on fumes. After that, we look at guys in the 20s, Steven Jackson, Bradshaw. I like all those guys as flex plays entering next season, mid-round selections. When you get down to it, 27-28 is where it gets a little tricky. No Sean Moreno, Willis McGahee. A lot of people are saying McGahee is done after this year. The recent emergence of Moreno has thrown a lot of us for a loop. I like him as a running back, but it's going to be another wait-and-see thing in Denver. Down on the list, when you get into the 30s and 40s, you see guys, Rashard Mendenhall, he's a really good buy low guy next year. Jonathan Dwyer, kind of the same thing. Guys like Kendall Hunter, Andre Brown, these are guys that are handcuffing elite guys, but they could see an increase of playing time next season. So they're nothing more than late round flyers, and the one intriguing guy down here right now is Bryce Brown. If you look, obviously just got the call with McCoy's concussion. Past 2 games, 178 yards, 169 yards. Crazy production. I'm not buying into it wholeheartedly to say. He's going to be the number 2 when McCoy comes back. we'll have to see the coaching situation. Obviously, is going to change in Philadelphia. So Bryce Brown, a lot of people are going to buy high on him. People are going to suggest him as a top 50 keeper. I don't. And it's another wait and see thing. But for now, I have him in the 40s. And for this season, great, number 2 down the stretch. But next year, I have some concerns with him. If you want to see the rest of the top 50, go to MrFantasyFreak.com. If you have questions, find me on Twitter at AWise28. And stay tuned for part 3, and I'll break down receivers. See ya.